guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to All Nerd Everything, where I discuss everything from your favorite comic books, movies, TV shows, anime, wrestling, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. You know, all that good stuff. And also, happy Black History Month, by the way, and happy Valentine's Day, which I don't celebrate. Valentine's Day is just a waste of time and money, in my opinion. But anyway, I saw this is a late review, but went to see Sin Help maybe last week or a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was last weekend. I can't remember. But after watching the trailer for this, I was very intrigued just because I love survivalist films. Castaway, The Revenant is decent, not particularly my favorite, but I do love survivalist films just because I always like to envision myself in the character situation. Like, what would I do if I was stuck on a desert island or stranded in the middle of the woods and I didn't know how to utilize, certain tools around me? Now, Sin Help is directed by Sam Raimi, who also worked with Rachel McAdams in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And Sam Raimi even said after his collaboration with Rachel McAdams in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, he was very disappointed that they underutilized her and made a promise to work with her again to actually show, Rachel McAdams' strength or highlight Rachel McAdams a lot more. And he delivered on his promise. Now, Sin Help is a survivalist thriller drama film about these two colleagues played by Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, and they end up stranded on a deserted island. And it's more about the power dynamics more than anything, because Dylan O'Brien, he plays such a narcissistic dickhead who treats Rachel McAdams and his other employees like shit when he takes over his dad's company. And Rachel McAdams' character, she's promised a promotion, but she's not offered a promotion at all just because Dylan O'Brien's character is a complete scumbag and didn't follow through with his dad's, wishes to promote Linda. I believe that's Rachel McAdams' character's name. I'm blanking on the characters' names, but I'll just put it in the highlights. But this film, like I said, when it comes to the power dynamics, once they get on the island, it completely does a 180. Now, everything that you're used to watching when they're not on the island, with Dylan O'Brien being in charge and being a absolute asshole to Rachel McAdams, it completely shifts to the point where he needs her. And all that rich boy talk of, I'm going to fire you, I'm your boss, none of that works on the island, because Rachel McAdams' character actually tried out in the film. Her character, Linda, is like obsessed with the show Survivor. And in the early beginnings, in the beginning of the film, babbling. In the beginning of the film, before the plane crashes, it's revealed that Linda actually auditioned for Survivor and didn't get in. So a lot of what she knew about, Survivor pretty much comes to use when they end up stuck on the island. Now, the CGI and the green screen effects aren't particularly the best, but the character dynamics between the two leads in this film are magnificent. But once they get on the island, you really start to wonder who is really the terrible person. Because I don't want to get into spoilers, but let's just say Rachel McAdams' character is not as kind-hearted as she appears. Now, don't get me wrong, everything that she did to Dylan O'Brien's character, to get back at him, to let him know that, all that, rich white boy talk and you being in charge of me is not going to work here because I'm the only one that's keeping you alive. And at times it gets pretty scary, and you start to wonder who's really the monster in this relationship. And it's pretty gory, a lot more gory than I anticipated and thought it was going to be, which I really enjoyed. And it's actually really funny in a lot of parts of the film, which I wasn't expecting. But I mean, there are scenes that had my whole theater absolutely dying. But this film, very bloody, very intense. I love the character dynamics, and it doesn't feel like it drags on for too long at all. But I mean, a sociopath and a narcissist falling in love. I mean, who would have thought that that would have been the a love story gone wrong? I'm going to give Send Help 4 stars. If you guys have seen Send Help, let me know your thoughts. Until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to stay updated with more movie, TV show, and comic book news and reviews. And happy Valentine's Day.